part 2 of Super Nintendo, and I quickly want to say I'm not covering many sports titles. I'm covering one bad one, but I really just wanted to cover some of the either more obscure or uncommon games that might be just interesting to talk about. And I definitely have to say a shout out to Uniracers, because it often gets overlooked, but it's a fun little side-scrolling racing game, would be the best way of describing it. The Doom on Super Nintendo is amazing. I really like it. Great sound. They made a Bonk for Super Nintendo, Super Bonk. It's really good. Blockbuster had an exclusive Final Fight Guy, and it's pretty much Final Fight with the Guy character added, and it's really good. Sonic Blastman 2, good side-scroller, kind of hard to get. Ignition Factor, pretty much a firefighting game, pretty uncommon and unique. Ren and Stimpy Fire Dogs, again another hard one to get. Gotta love Ren and Stimpy. Mutant Chronicles Doom Troopers. It kind of looks like a Donkey Kong Country graphics, but it's a kind of a Metal Slug / Contra style side scroller. Super Adventure Island 2. Again, a lot, kind of add some mini RPG elements to Adventure Island series. Pretty awesome. You also may find these. They're like not for resale carts. Like I said, I have some of the more common ones, but they will say not for resale on the top. Kind of nice to have in a collection. The only unlicensed game for the system is Super Noah's Ark 3D. You actually have to stick a Super Nintendo cart on top of this and then plug it into the system for it to work. Super Nintendo had tons of children's style games, children and families. Some of them are just bizarre. They made a game, Family Dog, Super Widget, An American Tail, Five Goes West. They even made a card of Bebe's Kids. What the heck? Biker Mice from Mars, Mr. Nuts, again many Plock. They made a puzzle game called Pieces, which is pretty hard to get. But there's a couple games that win the cake for what the heck. Rhea Systems made a series of health games. Rex Ronan, it has to do with surgery. Packy and Marion, another health-related game. And my favorite, Captain Novolin. Yes, you're fighting diabetes. Terrible. But the one that takes the cake is this one right here, Rap Jam Volume 1. And it's rappers playing basketball. And get this, their music's not in the game. And you get to play people such as LL Cool J, House of Pain, Queen Latifah, Warren G, Public Enemy, Coolio, and Yo-Yo. And like I said, it's pretty terrible. I totally recommend it. I don't know how hard this poster is to get, but I'm thinking about hanging it up. But I think a lot of people, especially people that they look at Super Nintendo and think, gosh, it's got a bunch of kiddie games, or it's got a bunch of sports titles, and I'm not into either one of those. And it's like, well, you know, there's several other games that I can recommend, especially for, you know, people that just don't like either of those. War of 3010, kind of a space sim strategy game. They also made War of 2410 as well, really good. Metal Marines, excellent strategy game. My cart's jacked up, but it still works. For brawlers, for side-scrollers, Knights of the Round, awesome arcade action, good port. I also like Peacekeepers by Jalico. Pirates of Darkwater, another, it is a children's TV show tie-in, but it's pretty good. And then Demon's Crest, yet another Capcom game that kind of gets overlooked. Well, I'm not able to showcase my collection of 500 Super Nintendo games, but hopefully this kind of gives you an overview of, you know, maybe you've hopefully found out of a game or two that you didn't know was out there. So thank you very much for looking at this.